Hey, how y'all doing? This is your host, Brianna, and this is the Socks Off podcast. Welcome. Hope your socks are actually off. That might be like my little tagline, hope your socks are actually off. Before I dive into this topic, make sure to follow me on Instagram at the Socks Off podcast, XO, because somebody stole my name. Make sure to follow me on TikTok at the Socks Off podcast. Nobody saw my name there. And then follow me on Instagram and TikTok at http.brianax. Okay, follow my stuff for baked goods at Cakes in a Row on TikTok, and then at cakes.in a row on Instagram. Now let's just get into this juicy topic because there's a lot to discuss here. The other day, I was listening to TLC No Scrubs, and I'm really feeling the emotions of this song. I'm just I don't want no scrubs. I don't want a scrub. No. In the song, they repeat it so many times to just drum it into your head and to drum it into that guy's head too, into a scrub's head. No, I don't want you. If you're a scrub, stay away from me. Stay away from me. And listening to that song repeatedly saying, I don't want no scrub. I don't want no scrub. That's what inspired me for this episode. And that is the topic of casting spells and how there's power in the tongue and how the tongue is a sword, and whatever reference you know of word affirmations and just spells in general, that's what we're talking about today. And if you don't like the word spell, then I'll say word affirmations. No, because it's all the same thing. Leave me alone, okay? It's actually all the same thing. Let's not do this. So I'm going to speak from a spiritual perspective, but also a Christian perspective. Christian perspective because I grew up Pentecostal, so I can speak on that. And spiritual perspective because I'm interested in spirituality as well. And I tend to refer back to Christianity anyways to prove my points or to just, support my ideas. Because that's my background, that's what I grew up with, that's what I know, that's what I understand, especially being Pentecostal. Oof, guys, I love being Pentecostal. Come on. If you are AF and you grew up in a Pentecostal church, you'll know. Aside from the, negative, the negative aunties and the gossip and all the drama. Aside from all of that, being in a Pentecostal church is just such an enriching experience. If you know, you know. And if you haven't been to a Pentecostal church, please do yourself a favour and just go. For at least 3 services. Make sure that you really just soak. If you go to the right church, everyone is super friendly and supportive. So we are going to start off with a Bible verse. That's a beautiful segue, me talking about religion and stuff. We're going to start off with a Bible verse. And this is from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21, which says, Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit of thereof. So, what does that mean? This whole podcast episode is my interpretation of this topic, my thoughts on this topic. This is my theories. I just had to put that disclaimer out there. But let's break it down so we can actually understand. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. That itself is just a powerful statement. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. I kind of feel like that speaks for itself, but what that means to me anyways is that whatever you say, you can either bring it to life, you can manifest it, you can manifest what it is you want just by speaking it out into existence, or you can end things, you can dead things off, you can cut it off, you can bring death into existence just by the power of your tongue. But what you say is so powerful that it can end things and it can revive things and it can start things. That's how powerful what you say is. So the bottom part of this quote, what that means for me is that if you understand the nature of just manifestation and how to bring things to life, and you appreciate that, you don't use it in vain, you actually appreciate the power of your tongue and use it for good, then you'll enjoy the fruits of your labor. Well, not even of your labor, but of what you manifest. If I say, I am going to be a millionaire, you think of strategies of how you're going to get there and you say that out into the universe. Let's say you even do a prayer. You're like, dear God, I pray that I grow into beautiful success. I pray that I grow into beautiful connections with people through this podcast. You get the idea, okay? I'm not going to do a whole prayer here, but with that, because I've got a positive intention behind it and I'm using the power of my tongue for good, I'm going to reap the benefits of that because, again, I'm putting good into the universe, or I'm just putting good out there in general. And God's going to manifest that for me. Guys, this is why I love Bible quotes, because they say so much in such a small sentence. Like, you don't even got to say too much. This is why people get Bible quotes tattooed on them. Please be careful what you get tattooed on you. I just advise you to not get tattoos in general, but that's up to you. You live your own life. But the beginning of the quote is literally, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So we spoke about how, obviously, when you speak good into the universe, you can reap the benefits of it. But what happens when you speak bad into the universe? Well, of course, there's a polarity to everything. If you're going to speak good into the universe, you'll reap the benefits. And if you speak bad into the universe, those things can manifest. Don't get it twisted. If you, let's say, for example, you're bad mind and you're wishing bad on someone, that may or may not happen. It depends how concise and specific you are. But let's just go with this example. Like, you are very concise and you're very clear on what it is you want to manifest in terms of, bad intentions. If the person is not protecting themselves, praying to God and making sure that they're just taking care of themselves, they are likely to get spiritually attacked. I'm going to say it. Sorry, if you are spiritually vulnerable, like, I know this sounds mean, and I know that there's this idea that people have of spirituality and religion and stuff that, if you believe in God, then you're good. If you believe in God, then you don't have to worry about being attacked. And no, that's you being naive. That's you being so naive. Like, please put in the work. Please pray to God. Please ask for protection. Like, God will give it to you anyways. But if you just confirm it and you say, okay, God, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for the protection you give to me. You will receive it. Simple as. But if you're not consistently putting that out there, you are prone to spiritual attacks. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? It happens. Okay, some people are victims and some people are smart enough to know that they can be victims, but avoid it with spiritual insurance. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, so somebody wanted to wish bad upon someone else that doesn't have spiritual insurance. That's projected onto them, and it will manifest in whatever way that person's obviously said it out into the universe. Another flip side to this, right? This is why I love Bible quotes, because they just... everything just links together in one beautiful... it's so coherent. You don't have to say too much. At the bottom of the quote, again, it says, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Now, what do you think happens to those that don't love it and that don't appreciate it and that use it for bad? They will not receive the fruit of thereof. Do you know what will happen to them? They're gonna get punished. Yeah. But punished in a way that whatever you've put out, bitch, that is going to come back to you tenfolds. That's why you hear mainly Africans really saying phrases like back to sender whenever we just hear negative Nancy's in our freaking ear. But always like, yeah, back to sender, because not only are you just like, okay, I'm rejecting this, but you're also like, I understand how the universe works and I understand that this energy will be thrown back to you. But not only am I confirming it, but I'm also recognizing your negative energy. And I'm also making sure that you dwell in that for as long as you need to, because clearly you believe in it so much, you might as well take that energy of you receiving the bad karma will already come to you. I don't have to worry about that, but whatever you've wished on me will also be added on top of that. That's what I love. Anyways, I love the universe. That's just following universal law. Whatever you throw out will come back to you. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you put out there, and make sure that it's always with good intention. Now, you might be panicking and be like, oh my God, like, I've said so much terrible things. Yes, so have I, so has Jesus even, okay? We all have to learn from that, is to reflect. I think a key thing to note, reflecting. You feel like, obviously, you've done wrong by saying bad things that you shouldn't have. You ask for forgiveness, but you're just asking in vain. You're like, oh God, please forgive me, and then you just move on without actually reflecting, without actually taking it in, digesting and understanding, okay, I didn't really mean it like that. Like, and you fully understand what you said was, then yeah, you will be forgiven. But I also feel like when people hear that, they think God is easy to just forget about things. No, whatever karma that you have, it will be banked up and it will be pending for you. Don't you worry about that. It will just show up in many different ways that you didn't expect, and many different life lessons that you didn't expect to learn. It will come through. I feel like the biblical approach is very philosophical and more holistic, linking back to TLC and No Scrubs and how I felt to that song. So when I was listening to that song and I was repeating, I don't want no scrubs, I don't want no scrubs, a scrub is a guy that can't. As I was bumping that song, I also came to the realization, I was like, bro, I am casting spells right now. Like, this is literally how you cast a spell. When you say things with emotion attached to it, with repetition as well, and you repeat it several times, there's emotion charged, there's energy charged to that. Emotion is literally energy in motion. So you're charging your words. The words that you're saying already have power. And you're charging it with energy in motion. You're charging it with emotion and passion. And you're saying it multiple times. And you're putting that out into the universe. That is essentially casting spells. If you didn't know, now you know. I know that sounds very woo-woo and witchy, but that's what it is. Other people will say it's affirmations. Other people will say it's prayer. Other people just say you're just listening to songs. It's never that serious. Other people will say that you are programming a neural pathway in your subconscious. Got really nerdy there, didn't I? It's all literally the same thing. So the emotions that I felt, it was empowerment, it was recognition, and it was also like understanding. Like, I understood how the girls felt because I could relate to what they were saying in the song, because like many females have been in that situation and have felt like, oh my gosh, like, you are dragging my energy down, and honestly, I don't want you near me. Like, I could go for someone way better. And the collective feeling is just, I guess, distaste. From that distaste, you're voicing your opinion, you're speaking from the heart, you're like, oh, I don't want no scrubs. And with that projection of opinion is empowering. I was listening to that song, it resonated with me because it was, you know, when you listen to a song that you connect with and it sort of like the emotions are brewing inside of you. It's not even the emotions, it's more passion that's brewing inside of you. Especially empowering songs like this, it was brewing inside of me, and I was like, oh my god, like I feel this. Like, you really, really feel that. And what that is in a spiritual sense is energy in motion, which is dun, 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 emotion. Yes, that feeling, that sensation that you have of that passion or whatever it is, whatever emotion that you have brewing inside of you, is energy in motion. So I hope you remember that for next time. But yeah, I was listening to No Scrub, and that the energy in motion was empowerment, passion. The energy in motion was also distaste. And I say distaste because I guess when energy goes in motion, it goes in like 3 stages. You're calling on past experiences and how you felt before. This is what makes like great art, is if it can call on your past, your present, and then also how you're going to feel in the future, if it sets up the emotion that you're meant to feel for the future. And this is where manifestation comes in. So the past emotion, No Scrubs made me feel. So I don't know the members, don't kill me for this, but in the beginning of the song where she's describing what a scrub is to her, you know, she doesn't like it when there's guys in the passenger side of his best friend's ride trying to holler at her. She doesn't like that. And I related to that because, again, I feel like this is just a typical female experience. You will be walking down the road and then there's a scrub, there's a buster parking from his homie's ride, and you're like, oh! And even if it wasn't that specific situation, the emotion that she felt, he was just a nasty buster. I know where this accent's coming from, but the emotion she felt in that moment could have been felt in many different other situations. It's not that you have to relate to that specific situation. You've probably encountered someone in your life that has that sort of energy. Well, that's what I could relate to because I can recall on experiences where I felt like that. That's the past. The present is how you feel now. Like, you're looking back at it and you're like, honestly, that was nasty. Like, you're coming to terms with how you felt in the past and you're like, ugh, like, I can't believe I went through that. That was disgusting. Honestly, ill. The future is what you manifest. So I like how in the song, that's how, you know, like, it goes into that sort of order. Like, it starts off with, Scrub is a guy that's thinks he's fine, is also known as a buster. Like, as the song progresses, she's basically saying, you know what? Fuck it, I don't want a scrub. I don't want a scrub. Do you know why? And then she obviously like loops it back. This is why I love music. I love music and just any sort of art anyways, because like it should be able to just loop back and link itself back. Even with the Bible verse that I quoted from Proverbs, I just love how it loops itself back. You can pick out certain elements of said artwork and it will still make sense, and it will make sense if you put this together and that together. Anyways, the future reference of the song is she doesn't want no scrubs, and because she's been calling on those emotions before, that is sort of empowering her and that is giving her energy and it's giving her charge. This is gonna get spiritual. She's feeling it from like her root chakra and she's gearing it up all the way up to her heart chakra, and then she's gearing it up to her throat chakra and she's just saying it out loud. She's spewing it out and she's like, oh, universe, take this in. Like, I hope you know this. This is how I feel. In the spiritual community, it said that, you know, the universe doesn't understand words. The universe understands emotion. So the emotion that she's feeling is being felt through the universe, and that is what she's essentially manifesting. Just imagine yourself like sat in a cross-legged position and then you're listening to the song and your posture's up straight, and then you're really feeling that emotional charge just like gearing up and brewing up and rising up to your throat, and you're just like, ugh, like, I want this scrub. Like, imagine yelling that. The universe doesn't understand words. It understands emotion. Do you know why it understands emotions? Because it's energy and motion. Do you know why it understands energy and motion? Because the universe is energy. It will respond to the energy that you're putting out. Some would call it manifesting, some would call it casting spells, but I'm essentially manifesting it for myself that, you know, I don't want no scrubs, and I'm putting that energy out there. And then the more I repeat it, the more it is like casting spells. And the reason why I say it's like casting spells is because you're repeating it again and again. That's literally what it is. Like, definitively, casting spells is literally just repeating things again and again with emotion attached to it. I know for people that like is unsettling to hear because they're not really with the witchy woo-ha stuff, but can you please be open-minded? Can you please use your discernment? Can you please be open-minded for this conversation and just understand that, you know, it's all connected. When I'm saying casting spells, it's literally the same as saying affirmations. It's literally the same as doing a prayer. That's all it is. Don't take it as I'm sat here with a cauldron and I'm saying weird shit. Like, no, there's a polarity to everything. If someone is casting spells, there can be good to it, but there can also be bad to it. And I know most of the connotations are usually associated with the bad, but understand again, there's a polarity to everything, and that if there's good out there, well, if there's a bad association, there's obviously a good association. When I was listening to that song, I was like, oh my god, like, I'm manifesting this for myself. Like, yeah, I don't want no scrubs, so guess what? The universe will not give me scrubs. Like, that is what I was getting from it. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get scrubs from this because I truly feel that the universe senses that. And I guess the more I repeat that and the more I affirm that belief, the more true it becomes. The more I'll see it in the 3D, in the physical world, whatever you want to call it, and God will affirm that for me. Another thing that I want to get into as well is frequencies and how certain songs make you feel a certain way. There's a frequency chart and it leads up all the way up till enlightenment, and then the bottom frequency is, you know, guilt, shame, yada yada yada, whatever. Just think about certain words and the frequencies they have. For me, certain words where like it kind of just gives me like a scratch in my ear when certain people say it because of the emotional charge that it has to it. The word kill. Do you guys remember DDG's family member? I'm saying family member because I don't remember his name. Is it Wap Wap or something? Girl, I don't know his name, but remember that time where he was like, oh, I don't even want to say it because it just, like, every time I heard it, I was like, oh, stop, why is this little kid saying it? It was really disturbing, but when he was like, I want to kill my mom, I want to kill my dad, I want to kill my grandma. Do you hear the emotional charge in what he's saying? Like the do you hear the aggression in that? The frequency of that. Like, it is deep, does it? Like, it's cutting you in the ear, is it not? Yeah, the way, like, certain languages as well are set up is just based on the frequency of the emotion that you are trying to convey. But that was just a little food for thought there. If you want me to talk more about like etymology, that's like the origin of words, and languages and how certain words have frequencies, let me know, because I definitely want to talk more about this topic, but I don't want to delve into this episode because I can explain it more in another episode. But yeah, back to frequencies. The way that song also made me feel like I wanted to dance. Like I wanted to dance a certain way. And just think about different genres. Like when you listen to emo music, you feel slow and you feel like, okay, I'm going to move slowly to this music. Why? Because my body's just telling me to. It's because of how that is resonating with you and how it's sitting with you. If you were to move uppity and fast, like you're listening to an upbeat hip-hop track to an emo track, it just wouldn't correlate and it wouldn't make sense, and you'd feel awkward, like you'd feel out of place. And the reason why you're like moving slow and stuff, number one, the beats are engineered that way to make you feel that way. And this is important, like if you're into music, check the production, make sure that it feels like the emotion that you're trying to convey, because the lyrics could be great and amazing, but if the production, the sound engineering is not really conveying that, then you're kind of at lost. I will say what I think some artists do creatively and great is using this in an opposite effect. Outkast and their song Heya. And I saw a girl on TikTok talking about this. She was basically saying that like the lyrics are deep. The lyrics are deep as fuck. The beat of the song makes you just bop to the song because that's just how you're feeling. Like the frequencies of the song are making you bop and shit, but you're not actually listening to the lyrics. That's just proof that bodies just do what they want based on how they respond to energy. Like our bodies respond first to energy, and then you kind of have to click in your brain to then listen to the lyrics and be like, oh, you're talking about some real serious shit, man. Oh, but why is the beat so catchy? Do you know what I mean? Like you get sidetracked and distracted because it's calling on emotions. Like your body's just responding to the frequency of that, because that's just how energy works. But yeah, that is all I have today. I will definitely be doing a part 2 and maybe even a part 3 actually on this topic, because when it comes to the power of the tongue and the music industry as well, I love to talk about that. I think in part 2 I'm definitely gonna indulge more in the topic of the music industry and maybe the Illuminati. Who knows? Stay tuned for another episode. But yeah, I hope you liked that episode. That was interesting to delve into. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have opposing thoughts. Let me know if I missed out anything as well. And yeah, what else do you want to hear from me? Girl, I'm all ears. I'm open-minded. It's an open-minded space here. Okay, our socks are off. You probably haven't gotten your toes done in about who knows how many weeks. So I'm really not judging you. I know I haven't, so there's no judgment here, okay? But I'm your host, Brianna. Make sure to follow me on all my socials at The Socks Off Podcast XO on Instagram, at The Socks Off Podcast on TikTok, and then my personal Instagram and my personal TikTok at http.brianax. That's at http.brianax. And make sure you follow my sister's cake business. Cakes in a Row. We're taking the world over with delectables. Yeah. Her IG handle is at cakes.inarow. And then TikTok is at cakes in a row. So my sister just walked in. Hey, bitch. Anyways, that was the episode. Hope you liked it, and bye. That's good timing, babe.